Welcome back to Introduction to Biology. Dr. Hudono here, and I'm going to be talking to you today about the dynamic cell, chapter 5. Please make sure you read this chapter and also use your PowerPoints. I will try to get through this chapter as quick as I can. All right, the first thing we want to say is what is energy? And energy is the capacity to do work. Our cells are constantly working. When you go jogging, your cells are exerting a lot of energy, using up a lot of energy to do work. And so it is important that we are able to use to retrieve energy and to use it for us to stay alive. Um, this is how we stay alive. And so there's two basic forms of energy. We have potential energy, we have kinetic energy. Potential energy is stored energy that's not working yet. For instance, if you have a burger, that burger is full of potential energy. When it gets inside you, it can give you energy to do work, and that is potential energy. So that's stored energy. And then you have kinetic energy, which is energy of motion. When work begins to happen, then we move from potential energy to kinetic energy. These two forms of energy, potential energy and kinetic energy, they are constantly converted back and forth. And during this conversion, sometimes they are lost as heat. So you have potential energy is constantly being converted to kinetic energy and back and forth. Let's do something like this. And sometimes some of it is lost as heat. Okay, sometimes when you work out, when you eat a burger, then you work out, that burger is converted into kinetic energy, but oftentimes you sweat and you get hot. And that is simple illustration of the relationship between potential energy and kinetic energy. All right, there are laws that govern how we use energy. These laws are called the energy laws. And one of those laws is that energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but it can be changed from one form to another. So you cannot manufacture energy from anywhere. You have to convert it. And that's why plants are important. They're able to convert to energy in the sun. They're able to convert it into food for us to use. They're highly important because of this. So that energy is converted into stored energy that we can use. And that's the first law of the first energy law. And then we have the second energy law, which says that energy cannot be changed from one form to another without the loss of usable energy. So there are no perfect conversions between converting energy from one form to another. Some of it will either be lost or used up in the process. So we are going to discuss how that happens in the human body. Also, we have one law we call the law of entropy. I think I discussed this in class, so I won't spend too much time on it. But entropy is disorganization. Everything tends towards disorder. Okay? Everything. If you wake up in the morning and you do your makeup and you give it about an hour, things aren't going to look as pristine as you first woke up. And that is entropy. The older you become, the more wrinkled you become. That's entropy. If you leave your room organized, but by the time and you leave for 30 days and come back, you might find dust on some parts of your room, and the room some things may have happened, right? That is entropy. Everything tends towards disorder. And so when you have disorder happening, these are particles and they're tending towards disorder, random movement. How do you bring them together? You connect them using energy. This is the importance of energy. You connect these particles using energy. All right? So we are going to discuss more of this and how we do this in our bodies. Our universe is a closed system, okay? So now this is important because for entropy, for the law of entropy to be true, it must happen within a closed system. It must happen within a closed system, which means there are no external interferences with this system, and our universe is a closed system. All energy transformations within our universe increase the total entropy of the universe. A good example of this transformation is energy provided by the sun, which allows plants to make glucose from the more disorganized water and carbon. So we have water in the environment, we have CO2 in the environment, and together they can make a more organized structure called glucose. Okay, they make an organized structure called glucose with a byproduct of oxygen gas. And in this process, some of the energy is lost as heat. All right, so this is what happens in our universe. So this is an example of the second law of thermodynamics. Your room starts out pristine, and by the end of the day, it's scattered. Okay, this is the law of